Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Eliza Portillo.
And I'm Spencer Ferreira. We start our newscast today with breaking news as two people were stabbed at Verdugo Hills High School in the Tujunga area here in the San Fernando Valley. Both are being taken to a local medical facility where one is being treated in critical condition and the other one is believed to have suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
And again, this happened around 2 p.m. in the San Fernando Valley, and if any new details are brought to light, we will bring them to you in our newscast.
President-elect Trump was interviewed on NBC's Meet the Press. He discussed his transition and what he plans to do once he takes office. He addressed topics such as tariffs, Ukraine, and deportations. Trump also said he plans to pardon those who were convicted regarding the attack on the Capitol. He said the committee members should be punished.
Cheney was behind it, and so was Benny Thompson and everybody on that committee. For what they did, honestly, they should go to jail.
President-elect Trump will be inaugurated on January 20th.
The president of Syria has been overthrown by Syrian rebels. Bashar al-Assad and his family arrived in Moscow, where they have been granted asylum by President Putin. The rebels declare the city of Damascus liberated. Refugees are crossing back into the country, hoping for a more peaceful future. The U.S. Defense Secretary says ISIS could take advantage of the collapse of the Syrian regime.
A suspect has been arrested on a gun charge in the killing of United Healthcare CEO. The man was found at a McDonald's in Altoona with a gun and a suppressor. An employee was the one who alerted the police. Authorities recovered a handwritten document that describes the motivations and state of mind of the person. A fake ID was also recovered that matches the one that was used to check into a New York hostel before the shooting. Police will now test to see if the ballistics match the shell casings found at the scene.
5 people, including a 1-year-old boy and a 5-year-old girl, have been found dead in an Atlanta apartment. Police are calling this a domestic-related murder-suicide. The shooting happened at a DeKalb County apartment complex last weekend. Police went to check on the apartment building after being called about a welfare check. It's unclear who was the shooter in the murder-suicide.
Jay-Z is filing to dismiss the rape lawsuit brought against him. The rapper and Sean Diddy Combs were accused of raping a 13-year-old girl at an after-party following the 2000 Music Video Awards. The unidentified woman alleges she began to feel woozy after consuming a drink at the party and wandered into a nearby bathroom where she was raped by both men. Jay-Z's attorneys have filed a motion asking the judge to require the woman to reveal her identity or dismiss the lawsuit. Jay-Z is the first celebrity to be accused of sexual assault in connection to Combs.
Art Basel in Miami Beach has revealed an AI-powered app in partnership with Microsoft. The app is used to help improve and elevate the overall experience at the art fair. This event also featured the lighting of the world's tallest AI. Microsoft's vice president says this app is about partnership and not just technology.
The use of AI in journalism continues to be a topic of debate as it becomes more advanced. Some newsrooms are beginning to implement it in different ways. Here at CSUN, there is a zero-tolerance policy in place at the sundial. While AI can be helpful, it's on the students to learn how to write properly.
A headline, help me rewrite these facts or anything like that. Transcribe this and give me the bullet points of it. Then that's when we start shying into the it's not really student work, and that's the entire point of a student publication is we want the students to write it. We want the students to, learn and grow from their mistakes.
AI is not slowing down, so the ethics of its use will continue to be a topic of conversation going forward.
Many college graduates love helping their alma mater. Charlie Gonzalez has more on how the CSUN Alumni Association helps members.
California State University Northridge Alumni Association is located a block west of the campus on Reseda Boulevard and is a place where many historical artifacts and historic moments are put on display.
CSUN's Alumni Association has been a staple of the university since its inception in the late 1950s.
The CSUN Alumni Association was founded in 1959, so a year after the university was founded. So as soon as the first graduating class graduated, we started the Alumni Association.
Celebrity alums still do work with the university.
Eva Longoria is, an alum that helps come back and connect with our Chicano Studies department. Most of our alums, or many of our first alums, are still alive. They're older, so they don't travel a lot, but they receive our communications.
Some alumni members are honored by having buildings or programs named after them.
The Mike Kerb College of Arts, Media, and Communications is an alum from CSUN. He did attend here. David Nazarian and the whole Nazarian family have been incredibly supportive of the university.
The Premier America Credit Union Arena, where I'm standing, used to look a lot different, and one of the alums from the class of 1972 used to come here.
It had never been upgraded, so when I saw it now, it was like I didn't recognize it because it was just an old gym and with wooden seats and nobody ever came. I had a professor at Imperial Valley College who had gone to Northridge, and he was always talking about Northridge and how good it was. And so I said, well, let me try it. I want to go away to school.
It doesn't matter what the name of the university was when people graduated, they're always welcome here. Reporting from the CSUN Alumni Association, I'm Charlie Gonzalez.
Thank you, Charlie. As we approach the end of the fall semester, CSUN is celebrating its graduates. Our Jess Brumana sat down with commencement coordinators to discuss GradFest and the next graduation ceremony.
Thank you. Today we're joined by Sabrina Gack, the commencement coordinator, and Yaneli Mejia, the ticketing and technology coordinator. Together, you've both worked for the commencement department for quite some time. What's it like working there?
It's actually really rewarding working in the Student Development and Transitional Programs office. Our office is just really a central hub for students to come and graduates to get all the information that they need for commencement, as well as some other transitional programs like orientation, convocation, and yeah, it's a really good office to work in.
Yeah, I agree with Sabrina. You get to experience a lot of students coming in and coming out of CSUN, interacting with us, talking about their accomplishments.
You know, commencement is such a big part of, the college experience. And there's quite a few students that don't graduate in the spring, but they instead graduate during the fall semester. What do students who are graduating in the fall need to do that's different from spring?
Would you like me to say it?
Sure.
So fall graduates, what they would need to do is make sure that they're keeping an eye on their email communications from us, because of course once you graduate you're no longer checking your CSUN email. In the end of the semester we host an event called Fall Grad Fest, and that's where graduates could come, similar to Spring Grad Fest, where they can interact with us, ask any questions they might have. If they want to get sashes of say 2024, they can purchase those as well. And then lastly, just making sure that they're checking their emails in January to May to make sure they're staying up to date with communications on claiming tickets, registering for the event, recording their name, etc.
To kind of add on to, Fall Grad Fest is a new event that our office has been working in collaboration with the campus store, and we really saw that there was a gap for students that were graduating in the fall and not really getting the communications that they need from our office until the spring, because a lot of graduates who were graduating in the fall, they wouldn't really hear from our office for about a couple months until, once the ceremony started to kind of occur and once they were logging into our portals and stuff. So there was a need that students needed to have an opportunity for just to have conversations with our office, get to see all of their merchandise for the fall term. And this is our second year working in collaboration with the campus store, and a lot of the things that we're doing is just really being another opportunity for students to just get their questions answered. And this is typically about the time where we're just giving them the information on, when are they graduating? A lot of the things that they ask are, how many tickets am I going to get? Or what is it going to look like? What are the expectations? And graduation is like an opportunity to celebrate. And we want to make that easy and as streamlined as we can, so that way graduates can really just enjoy the process and look forward to walking across the stage.
Yeah, I can imagine. I'm graduating in the spring, and just it's so scary to think about, there's so many things to get done. You mentioned, staying on top of emails and making sure, you're up to date with communication. Is there any other advice you'd like to give graduates who are going to, be walking the stage really soon?
Yeah. So, advice for graduates is, I think for me, I did my undergrad and my graduate program here, and, working in this position, like we see a lot of graduates in the similar position where this is about the time where the added anxieties and the stressors and, finals are also occurring. There's a lot on a student's plate right now. And I think the biggest advice is to just take a moment and really kind of step back and kind of see all of the accomplishments and how much work it took to get to this moment. And honestly, in my personal opinion as a tip is, as you're kind of going through the graduation process, yes, there's going to be things that need to get done. There's going to be deadlines, and there's a lot of things happening at once. It's really just taking a step back, reflecting, and just taking a deep breath as you kind of go through the commencement season, and just kind of have a smile and be excited for what's going to happen. I mean, I'm sure, hopefully that's what you're also looking forward to, is walking across the stage and just putting yourself in the shoes and in those seats of like, all right, I get to turn my tassel today. And that's really what, just reminding students to see the bigger picture.
Are there anything that's going to be different from this year than there were in previous years?
Yeah. So all graduates get added to a site that we call Marching Order, which is a platform that they can allow to get their guest tickets, record their name, verify their information. Something that we're incorporating new this year is called Grad Pass. So similar to their physical name card, it's actually a digital version. So graduates will no longer have to wait in line to grab a physical name card for when they walk across the stage. They'll have it on their phone, like an Apple Wallet feature, or they can print it out if they like. So that's a feature that we're incorporating this year to allow graduates to just have it on their phones, because a lot of times they'll lose the card from their seat to the stage, and this will just make the process easier for them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is there anything else about commencement you'd like to share we haven't had a chance to talk about?
I mean, just kind of highlighting with Grad Pass, I mean, a lot of the things that we look at checklists and things that we have to do and what graduates are preparing for, we're really just trying to look at things from like a larger lens of like, how can we make it a little bit easier as you are kind of going through the graduation process. I think the first question everybody asks is, when am I graduating and how many tickets? Something that is new or that has been announced already is our commencement schedule for next year. So for any graduates who are graduating this fall, like, we can now share out that information. It's all available on our CSUN website. So as graduates are planning and having family and guests starting to travel and stuff, they can go ahead and kind of look onto that to better plan for the upcoming year. I mean, outside of that, we're always kind of trying to make sure that we're staying up to date with technology for the actual event. So little things will be new as we go through the next year up for commencement. So as we look at Spring Grad Fest, we'll look at launching Grad Pass there. So graduates are getting familiar with the process and hopefully easing the anxieties of trying something new before the big day. So there's a lot of little things that will come up, but overall, our office is just kind of like helping to streamline and answer questions as graduates have them.
Thank you so much. This has been a very insightful conversation. I thank you so much for coming down and, telling us all about, what's to come for commencement. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
Back to you.
Jess, thank you. More to come on Valley View News. A popular app is on the verge of extinction.
Plus, a SoCal resident is now millions of dollars richer after making a quick pit stop.
And the Golden Globe nominations are in. We'll tell you who is taking the lead when we come back.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
What I thought was a complete life was nowhere near complete. But it is now.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
Welcome back. A SoCal woman won $10 million after purchasing a winning scratch-off ticket in Anaheim on her way home from work. Nora Hammerstead won the top prize on a Royal Riches Scratcher game and won $100 on another game she bought that same day. Hammerstead says she has won a few $1,000s in the past, but now she can retire early after winning big. The liquor store the ticket was sold at also got a $50,000 bonus.
I sure would love that much money, but she's not the only one bringing in millions. Alexa Kosten is in our Digital Media Center to bring you a report on all the latest entertainment news.
Yeah, thank you, Spencer and Eliza. It's been a big week in entertainment. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour has finally come to an end. She performed her last show on Sunday in Vancouver. Swift performed her historical tour for over 10 million people spanning 50 countries over the course of a year and 8 months. The tour is also estimated to gross over $2 billion. It is now the highest grossing tour in history, followed by Elton John's Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour. And the anticipated 2025 Golden Globe nominations are in, and the thriller musical film Emilia Perez is leading the Globes with 10 nominations. FX's The Bear is in the lead for TV with 5 nominations. Comedian Nikki Glazer is set to host the star-studded event. And Special Award recipient Viola Davis is set to receive the Cecil B. DeMille Award, and Ted Danson will receive the Carol Burnett Award at the ceremony. The Golden Globes will air on CBS on January 5th. And at the box office, Moana 2 has sailed to the top of the box office, hitting a total of $600 million globally, making it the 5th biggest film of the year. Wicked also took in a domestic total of $320 million, and in third place, Gladiator 2 came in with a domestic total of $133 million. And a pair of Judy Garland's iconic ruby slippers have sold at an auction for $28 million. While Garland wore several pairs of her ruby slippers in The Wizard of Oz, only 4 pairs are known to have survived since the 1939 film. The pair that has sold at auction was previously stolen from a museum nearly 2 decades ago, but was retrieved from the FBI back in 2018. The Wizard of Oz story has gained even more attention after the recent release of the film adaptation of the Broadway musical Wicked. That's the very latest from the Digital Media Center. I'm Alexa Kosten. Back to you.
Alexa, thank you for the report. TikTok says it will go to the Supreme Court to get an emergency ruling if the appeals court doesn't pause the banning of the application. The company says shutting down the app would tarnish its foundation of 170 million monthly users and creators. President-elect Donald Trump reportedly wants to stop the TikTok ban. The pause would give the incoming Trump administration time to weigh in on the legal dispute.
3 people are left injured after a Christmas boat parade crash in Florida. Witnesses said the driver of the jet car boat was getting dangerously close to the other boats when they lost control and went flying into another boat. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission confirmed that 3 people were taken to the hospital. A Facebook post from the boat parade organizers said they do not condone reckless boating and are working to ensure that it does not happen again.
Christmas is just in just a few weeks, and our Alexa Kosten has what you need to know on the prices of Christmas trees this year.
Thank you. I'm here at the San Fernando Valley at a Christmas tree farm. The holiday season is finally here, and what a better way to kick it off than right here at a Christmas tree farm. However, the holiday season might not be so cheerful after all. The holiday seasonal decor and Christmas tree prices might actually be going up this year. The holidays are here, and with that comes all the merry traditions, including getting a Christmas tree. But with prices on the rise, they might be branching out of your budget.
The prices have gone up in the last few years, probably about like $50 or so, but business is always really good, especially right after Thanksgiving.
Even though the Christmas tree prices are up about $50 per tree this year, that's not stopping people from picking out their perfect tree.
So we get a lot of people that come in and get 6 to 10 foot trees. The bigger trees are a little more difficult to sell, but there's always people that come in and want, a huge 14, 15 foot tree to fit in the middle of their, living room or something like that.
While the holiday decor and Christmas tree prices might be going up this year, the holiday season is still looking cheerful, and these trees are still here, ready to find their perfect holiday home. From the San Fernando Valley, I'm Alexa Kosten, Valley View News.
Alexa, thank you. In the heart of the Philippines, Canlaon volcano is awakening, sending ash and smoke spiraling 2.5 miles into the sky. Emergency sirens sounded across towns as officials ordered a mass evacuation for residents. The volcano has been rumbling, warning nearby villages and communities of its restless power for days. The seismology office said Canlaon has erupted over 40 times since 1866. Well, we don't have a volcano here in Southern California, but it is a bit cloudy.
I know, we're as Christmas is approaching, we're also getting colder weather. And I'm excited for that colder weather, and I know Jess Brumana has more on our local forecast.
Absolutely. Let's dive right into that local forecast. In the valley, temperatures are going to be fairly consistent throughout the week, dancing on that line between the high 60s and low 70s. Lows will remain pretty consistent in the mid-40s, but ticking up towards the end of the week and bottoming out in the low 50s. It's going to be overcast all week, and towards the end, we'll see the clouds burn off a tiny bit when the temperatures rise. Heading downtown, highs are going to be very similar to the San Fernando Valley, but a few degrees cooler. It'll stay in the high 60s, low 70s during the day, and lows remain in the high 40s and low 50s during the evening. Similarly, it'll be cloudy all week and only lighten up a bit towards the end. Taking a trip to the beach, it's not going to break 70 at all. Highs will remain in the mid-60s and lows will stay around the 50 degrees, give or take a few points. That beachy overcast isn't going to let up much either. And last but not least, the Inland Empire will also be following the trend. It'll be a smidge hotter than the other regions, but highs will still remain in the low 70s all week. Nighttime temps are going to be swinging lower, on the other hand, getting into the low 40s for most of the week. Midweek, you'll see lows will raise into the mid to high 40s, and only at the very end of the week will the clouds clear. When we come back, another championship trophy for Los Angeles, also scoring aplenty in the game this year. Stay with us.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. 2 milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kitchen now.
Welcome back. Our Tony Santos has a story about how skateboarding isn't just a hobby for a lot of people, but it's a lifestyle and a way to express themselves.
So I'm here in Simi Valley visiting the Skateboard Hall of Fame and Museum, paying homage to the loads of hard work and dedication that has gone into skateboarding over many years.
Well, the big skateboard is from the movie The Search for Animal Chin. It was a movie that was put out in the early 80s by Powell Peralta, and they climbed it up the mountain and they found it. They said, oh my God, Tony Hawk said, it looks like a skate god must have created this.
If you're feeling inspired, you could also give it a go yourself inside the museum.
I think off the top of my head, like the liberating feeling you get from, skateboarding, there's like no rules, even though there's kind of some rules, but like with skateboarding, you get a whole different view of the world, right? So I don't know how I would be looking at everything if I wasn't skating for sure. It's a big part of my life. It's a lifestyle, as they say, right?
As history has proven to us, everything starts somewhere. And for skateboarding, that time was pre-1960s.
The favorite type of piece I like are these boards when you walk into the museum to the right. They're all homemade from roller skates, and people don't realize that in the beginning of skateboarding, in order to have a skateboard, you had to make your own. You couldn't go buy one anywhere.
Now right behind this door is more or less where the real Holy Grail is at. So this right here is one of the oldest skateboards. I mean, imagine riding this. Just for comparison, this is the size of the skateboard, and this is the size of my shoe. Skateboarding, like any other skill, isn't something you can master overnight. But for some people, the beauty of skateboarding is the challenge that comes with learning how to do it.
You can't just grab a board and all of a sudden be Tony Hawk. Like, you've got to really work at it, and it's a challenge. My mom can rollerblade. She's like 75. You can give her some rollerblades. She'll go to Venice Beach and she'll tear it up. But if you give my mom a skateboard and say, Mom, let's go to the Venice skate park, she cannot do it.
From here in Simi Valley, Tony Santos, Valley View News.
Tony, thank you. Eliza, I feel so blessed to be able to do a newscast where we're reporting on winning sports teams. It was the Dodgers a month ago. Now the Galaxy are winning another championship.
Yeah, Spencer, LA just keeps on winning, and I'm proud to be an Angelino.
I can't relate to that, but it sure is to be in a winning city. Well, Charlie Gonzalez, our sports anchor, has more on how the Galaxy brought home that championship. Charlie?
Oh, thank you, Spencer and Eliza. Yeah, the city of Los Angeles just won another championship against New York. The LA Galaxy defeated the New York Red Bulls 2-1 for the MLS Cup final. In front of a crowd just below capacity at Dignity Health Sports Park, Joseph Payne still drew first blood in the 9th minute with an assist from Gaston Brugman. Only 4 minutes later, Dejan Joveljic in traffic found the net on an assist from Mark Delgado. In the 28th minute, Sean Nealis scored from New York's lone goal after a game of hot potato. Whoop, but hey, that's not my boy. And the Galaxy won their 6th title, most all-time in Major League Soccer. The championship celebration was held at the stadium the following day. The Lakers lost a heartbreaker in overtime on the road against the Atlanta Hawks at 134-132. The entire game was a back-and-forth affair. The point differential in all 4 quarters was just 3 points, with the Lakers holding the lead after the first and third. Hawks point guard Trae Young's 31 points was a team best. LeBron James' layup with 13 seconds left forced the game into overtime. James' 39 points and Anthony Davis' 38 points were the two highest scoring performances, but it wasn't enough to earn the win. Young's three-pointer with 8 seconds left sealed the victory. The Lakers were back at home Sunday night, though, against the Portland Trail Blazers. The Lake Show trailed early throughout the first quarter. It was the second quarter when the purple and gold pulled away, never surrendering their lead after a 7-minute mark. D'Angelo Russell scored 5 3-pointers and 28 points off the bench, second behind only Anthony Davis's 30 on the day. Final score, 107-98. But across town, the Clippers had a game against the Houston Rockets and didn't go so well. Both LA teams are neck and neck in the standings. Clippers point guards Bones Highland came off the bench, scoring 5 3-pointers and 22 points. Jalen Green did most of the heavy lifting for the Rockets, scoring 31 points and 8 for 8 on free throws. Houston emerged victorious 117-106, improving to 16-8 on the season. Both the Lakers and Clippers' next games are on Friday. And how about them Rams? Just up the street from the Intuit Dome where the Clippers play, the Rams defeated the Bills 44-42 in what many people are calling Game of the Year. The Rams scored on 5 of their first 6 drives, knowing they'd have to equal the Bills' offensive firepower. Matthew Stafford went 23 for 30 with 2 touchdown passes. The special teams also contributed. Jacob Humel's blocked punt was returned for a touchdown by Hunter Long. And Tom Brady said he lost his voice doing color commentary, notably on Puka Nakua's toe-drag sideline reception. Both teams committed 0 turnovers while combining for 902 yards of offense. Josh Allen became only the second player ever to have 3 passing and 3 rushing touchdowns in a single game. The first, 70 years ago, Otto Graham during the 1954 NFL Championship. Allen's career day was in vain, however, as the Bills' defeat was secured on a failed onside kick recovery. With the loss, they fall further behind the Chiefs in the race for the number 1 seed in the AFC. And speaking of which, the other LA team wasn't as lucky. On Sunday Night Football, the Chargers lost to the Chiefs 19-17 on a game-winning field goal. Justin Herbert left the game for a short while, banged up after a hit. The Chiefs' defense shut out the Chargers in the first half. Herbert returned to action in the third quarter, leading the Los Angeles Chargers on back-to-back scoring drives to take the lead. Unfortunately for them, however, the Chiefs had the ball last. That's how most games are won today. The game-winning kickoff, the left upright, has been dubbed the doink for the division as the Chiefs win the AFC West for the 9th consecutive year. On the flip side, the NFC West race is still tight, with the Rams 1 game behind Seattle. And I know that NFC West race is really heating up. Rams and 49ers play on Thursday Night Football. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie. Thank you for that report.
Thank you.
Pastries are something a lot of people enjoy, especially during the holidays. This past Monday was National Pastry Day, one of my favorite holidays. Pastries can be sweet or savory, and examples can be found in countless cultures around the world. National Pastries Day falls in the month of December, making it an especially good time to find delicious pastries and baked goods at the bakery. You know, Spencer, I'm going to be celebrating today by going out and buying myself a cheese Danish.
I won't be getting a Danish, but I sure will be getting some gingerbread cookies for the holiday season. But that's all for us at Valley View News. I'm Spencer Ferreira.
And I'm Eliza Portillo. For stories any time of day, see our YouTube channel at Valley View News and our Instagram page at Valley View News CSUN.